Final segment this morning with Christie Wilson, a real estate broker, on taking your phone calls, 737-7587 if you want to jump in there. So, yeah, you have your share of buying or selling nightmares? We do. Yeah, but I have to tell, but it's more good than bad. Okay, more good than bad. In fact, yesterday I went on a listing appointment and I had so much fun. There was this house on 62 acres, and wow. The 50 acres on the back side of the property, we got in the gator and just went all over the place. And we saw a fox up in the woods and saw all kinds of critters, and it was a blast. This was a family selling this big, their old family's a farm? The kids are grown up and everything. It's a gentleman's farm out in Nolensville, and it's beautiful. It was such a happy day. So that's neat. So now, that's what's so fun about my job. That does sound great. Now, what kind of buyers will be interested in that? I always worry someone, it's going to be a developer, and they're going to buy it, they're going to tear down the house and put 100 homes on it. Yep. Again, the sewer's not out there, so it's septic, and I don't see. You could probably parcel off several building sites on this, but it couldn't be a development. Gotcha. That's what someday it may be. Someday it may be, but not in the near future. Can they not buy something like that and put in a step system or something like that? Do you know what a step system is? I sure do. I mean, where this is would be too far out for a step system. Okay. And a step system, for those who don't know, is it's sort of a modified sewer system that's sort of a modified septic system. Right. And it's very popular in Wilson County. That's why I know about it. That's why I know about it. Okay. Should have known. A lot of people are like, step system. Look, I didn't know any of this stuff, so I started looking into it. Perking, what's that? Right. You know, but it's kind of interesting. Yeah. But there are nightmares. We deal with our fair share, but again, I just iterate all the time. Having a good agent who can get you to a solution. Sometimes you just have to trudge through, power through. I'm a firm believer in prayer, and the guardian angels of real estate take care of you, and just hang on. We'll get through it. And a good real estate agent can be popular and have. How many clients would a good real estate agent maybe have at one time? Oh gosh, probably. Could be 10 or more. 10 or more. 10 to 20. And they can be getting a lot of calls. So you hope part of a good real estate agent or broker is someone who is responsive to you. Yes. And I assume they all try, but at times they can be very busy with another client, and then you're having a crisis, and that's the trick, isn't it now? Communication is key in real estate. So if you can't get back to your client, just shoot them a text. If you can't, say, I'll call you tonight, I'll call you tomorrow morning. People want to know that you are taking care of them. Yes. And that's the number one complaint I hear from sellers is, my agent put the sign in the yard and I never heard from them again. You want to communicate with your client and let them know that you're taking care of them. You're doing everything in your power to get their house sold. And even if nothing's going on, they need to hear your voice and say, hey, I really have nothing to tell you that's going on, but this is what we're doing right now. And you're there. I mean, you're on my mind. Right. That's just good business. It's good business. That is good to do that. It's good, even if you're at a restaurant and the food's taking a long time to come out. When the waiter comes by and says, "I'm so sorry, they're backed up in the kitchen," it's like, "Oh, no problem. Thank you for letting me know." It makes a big difference for me. Otherwise, I start leave me in the dark. I stew. Right. Everybody does. Yeah. And especially when you're dealing with something as big as a purchase as a home. All right. Or your lasagna, which you're dying for because you're really hungry. So, let's go to Linda. Hi, Linda. Hi. Hey.
My brother and I have a home in Sylvan Park that's been in our family for 65 years, and we're contemplating on finally putting it on the market and selling it, or just, it's pulling at our heartstrings. So, how do you see the Sylvan Park market still at this time, or even in the future?
Do you know anything about Sylvan Park? I know a lot about Sylvan Park. Why? I work there, I live there, I play there. Shit, you're calling the right person right now, Linda, on this. Do you want to know whereabouts is the house? You may be even familiar with it. Yeah, what street are you on, Linda?
Nevada.
Okay, so Sylvan Park is very strong, and I anticipate it's going to remain strong. The city neighborhoods, the more city neighborhoods within the 440 loop and outside the 440 loop, just to get downtown, they're so convenient. The dirt that your house is built on is worth so much money. I mean, a lot of times the dirt now in Sylvan Park is worth more than the actual house. I mean, sometimes people, depending on the home, will buy it and just tear down the house and rebuild. That's right. We've seen a lot of that in Sylvan Park. So are y'all currently renting it out, or is it sitting vacant?
No, my brother's living in it currently, and he has been. We're just trying to debate on what the future is for the both of us, because we're now both in our 60s, and it's just do we want to, it's a good house. I mean, it has a full-size basement, a middle portion, and an upstairs, and it has, you know, the living room, dining room, dinette, kitchen, den, bathroom, bedroom downstairs, and then 3 bedrooms upstairs. So it's, you know, it's
Linda, if you'd want to leave your number with Mary Elena on the who patched you in, I'd be happy to talk to you offline about that and tell you what the value is now and what. I mean, I can't predict the future, but I can sort of give you my ideas of if you held it, what you're looking at, or if you sold it, sold it now, what you're looking at.
Okay.
But I think the future of Sylvan Park is very solid and strong. I think all these city neighborhoods, sometimes we do feel like we're in a bubble because the prices just went up like crazy. But they're very stable. When the recession hit, the values in these city neighborhoods did not take as big a hit as anywhere else.
They usually say. Linda, you want to hang on and we'll get your phone number. Mary Elena will, and she'll pass it on to Christie. Is that cool?
Sure.
Great. Thanks for your call.
All right. Well, yeah, she's living in it. That's a very nice area, and what she described sounded like a fantastic house.
Yeah.
A lot of people looking to live there.
Very much so.
All right.
I mean, it's gotten ridiculously expensive. And so, you know, a lot of people are priced out of Sylvan Park right now. So what a first-time buyer home is now a tear down.
So someone like this, and I can understand and sympathize with where they're coming from. They're in their 60s. They have this house as a property, and maybe they almost view this as some kind of help with their retirement because of the money they can get from it.
Right.
So what would someone like that? Their options, we didn't ask her, would be sell this, and I'm guessing maybe they don't even have a mortgage on it. It's been in the family forever. So they're selling and they're free and clear.
Right.
On the sale of the house.
So sell it, split the proceeds, and then take that money and whether you
decide
invest
where you want to live,
somewhere.
Or,
Well, with the brother,
she's living somewhere else.
Right. So if the brother lives there, if he wants to rent something or buy something else, he could do that. Or buy out his sister. That's we see brothers and sisters buy out each other.
Sure.
Or hold on to it and let it continue to appreciate. There's just various options.
Well, I'm just saying from there, they're going to spend that money. They'll downsize, obviously, but they're in a market still where they're going to be paying top dollar.
So when we meet with clients like this, the #1 question is, what's your ultimate goal?
Okay.
So for her, it sounds like retirement or getting older. Let's add this to our nest egg. Does it make more sense just to hold on to it, let it continue to appreciate? Maybe they're both still working.
Yeah, it's what they need now. Yeah.
Right. And do I think that market's going to go down? If it does go down, it won't go down significantly. If Sylvan Park goes down, you know, I feel like that's the time when we have our next downturn where everything would go down. And I listened to one of the most brilliant real estate economists, Edsel Charles, and he said the next recession that Nashville feels, or next price correction, will probably feel like 2016. So 2016 was a great year. I mean, we've appreciated since 2016, but not significantly, a couple percent.
But it's not going to be like 2008.
That was a perfect storm with the mortgage crisis, jobs, So I'm not at all concerned over the next 10 years, short of anything global or crazy.
You're right.
You know, but I feel like our market, there's still so many people coming here. There's still so many people who are getting married, getting divorced, having babies. The babies go to college, downsizing, upsizing, buying second homes. Nashville's become a huge second home. I just sold a second home house.
Really?
Yeah, so we see a lot of second homes here. It's a huge retirement area. People's kids have moved here, they have grandkids, and with our favorable tax structure in Tennessee, we have a lot of retirees coming here.
And you've got a great medical community here, which is a draw for them.
What's not to love? If we only had Opryland.
It's just,
just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, they're going to get a water park out there, is what they're saying. Real quick, Ann had a follow-up. Ann, you've just got about 30 seconds. Can you go real quick with your follow-up?
The trees, we've had 6 properties that were developed without any trees in the front yard, and it looks like the same developer is doing it again. How can I prevent another concrete yard from going on Inga Street in East Nashville?
So call codes on that, Ann, and see if trees are supposed to be built in those yards. If those houses haven't sold yet, maybe they have not gotten what's called a certificate of occupancy. So when the codes does their final thing, you get what's called a CO, a certificate of occupancy. Sometimes it's called a use and occupancy. And before codes can do the final write-off on that, all those things have to be done. So you may want to just call codes and see if they have the certificate of occupancy on those properties. They may not have been planted yet.
Interesting. That's one thing I never get about properties that are bought by developers or whatever. Big, beautiful trees, and they come in, and I don't know, maybe you don't care, and they plow them all down, and then they build, in my opinion, these ugly McMansions. And some of you may live in one, that's fine, they're very nice, but these ugly McMansions, concrete stuff, and not a tree in sight, maybe a little shrubs. They do some nice landscaping because it's money. Why do you cut down trees? That, to me, makes a neighborhood, period. No, it's not the houses. It's not even the people. It's the trees that make a neighborhood. And they come in, buy these plots of property, and cut down all the big, beautiful trees. Those people are idiots. Yeah. I'm sorry. Who cuts down trees like that?
You got me. But
and it kills the value. To me, it splits the value in half of that property. You cut all the trees off.
And that's where you're talking about the tall skinnies, because they have had to come and plant trees, the little trees, but they're saplings now, right? But in 5 years, when all that starts blending in, it'll be fantastic.
I agree with you. But you have big, beautiful trees, and I'll see them cut down, and I just am scratching my head.
It makes me sad.
Do you kind of agree with me on that? Just
100%. If you don't have to cut down a tree, don't cut down a tree.
Why do they do it?
Well, they're building so high. If the tree is over the building.
If it's over, but I see these big lots that are bought in some in the more rural areas, and they just flatten it out and build the house in the middle of the field.
See, I see that more in developments where they clear it out.
Yeah.
And now some developments were just built in pasture. There weren't trees.
Right.
You know, like Brentwood. I mean, think about it. Brentwood was all pasture before Brentwood became Brentwood.
Yeah.
So there's not that much trees that they mowed over because it was pasture, right? So now there's a lot of trees in those areas. Now, don't get me wrong. There was beautiful woods and meadows too, where builders will come in, but.
You drive through some of these neighborhoods. Doesn't always have to be Belmead, though. They have some incredibly beautiful trees there. Do. Sylvan Park does. Go through Creve Hall, more affordable, smaller homes there, and the trees, it just makes the neighborhood so nice.
It does. Everyone loves good trees.
So nice. Christie, thank you.
Thank you.
And I love your opals.
Oh, thank you so much.
They're a beautiful ring. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. I always love being here and enjoy being with you. So
well, it's fun. I learned so much from you. You are very good at what you do.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, she'll be back on again sometime soon. Everyone have a great day, but I'm going to come back with a programming note about tomorrow right after this.
Life